I'd like to share with you on this week's Parshas by Vikehl-Pekudi, something very nice from the Rebbe's father, Rabbi Levi Yitzchok Zatzal. In the end of this week's Parshas, and the whole Parshas in general, speaks about the building of the Mishkan, the tabernacle. When it was all finished, in Perek Mem, Pasuk Lamed Hey, it says that Moshe couldn't come into the Mishkan. Now look at the words. Ki shochan olav he'onon, because the cloud was resting upon it. It says the word olav, on it, upon it. Rabbi Yitzchok brings out a very interesting diuk and asks why, the difference between how the expression is in this week's parsha concerning the Mishkan, ki shochan olav ha'onon, the cloud was resting upon it, and how it's in the Haftorah of Parshas Pekudi, in Malachim Aleph, Perek Ches, Pasuk Yud, and over there it says, a Pasuk, I will read it to you, it says in the Pasuk over there, Vayhi b'tzeis hakoyanim and hakodesh, look at these words now, V'ha'onon molei es beis Hashem, the cloud filled up the house of Hashem. So there's a difference how the wording in the Pasuk is expressing how the cloud was by the Mishkan. By the Mishkan it says ki shochan olav, upon it, on top of it. And here by the Beis Hamikdash it says that the onon was molei as Beis Hashem. It filled up the house of Hashem. What's the difference? Why by the Beis Hamikdash does he emphasize the word molei, it filled up, and by the Mishkan he just says the words olav? Explains Rabbi Yitzchok so beautiful, as explains the Chassidus, and the Rebbe speaks about many sichas. It's a very basic difference between the Mishkan, which was in the Midbar until they built the Beis Hamikdash, traveled in that Israel, and the Beis Hamikdash. The difference is that by the Mishkan, there was a holiness on the structure, but not in the actual mokim, in the place where the Mishkan was built upon. It did not permeate and penetrate into the earth, into the soil, into the stones of where it stood on any holiness. As soon as the Mishkan left one place, that place was not holy anymore. So the structure was only holy, but it did not penetrate and permeate into the physical place where the Mishkan stood. On the other hand, by the Beis Hamikdash, over there, the Torah emphasizes the whole time, Hamokoim, that place where Hashem chose. And we know the Beis Hamikdash, not only were the walls holy, but even the Temple Mount, the Har HaBayis itself permeated the Kedusha, the holiness of the Beis Hamikdash, went into the mountain itself. And that's why the Rebbe explains there was different levels of going higher and higher, corresponding to the different levels of holiness which penetrated and elevated the physical place of the Beis Hamikdash. And here you see why the beautiful diuk in the pasuk. By the Mishkan, where it was only a temporary staying over there, didn't penetrate the place, it was traveling. So over there, the pasuk uses the terminology ki shochan olav, upon it, but didn't fill up in a sense where it penetrated the physical. By the Beis Hamikdash, we're over there, it affected the actual mountain itself, the soil, the rocks of the Har HaBayis, the Avonim. Therefore, the Torah uses the expression molei as Beis Hashem. It filled up the whole entire house, referring and indicating that even the physical was holy. And that's why is the difference that when the Mishkan left, it wasn't any holy anymore. It was B'chinas Makif. On the other hand, by the Beis Hamikdash over there was a gilui, was a revelation in the pnimius of the Beis Hamikdash, and that's why it affected the physical, and that's why it uses by the Haftorah the words molei. Based on this, the Rebbe's father goes into a very interesting whole explanation. I won't go to it now. You can look it up. It's in Ha'oras Bereshis, Daf Chof Tes and Lamed. A diuk also that in the Chumash it says, Uchvoid Hashem Molei HaMishkan, that the glory of Hashem filled up the Beis Hamikdash, filled up the Mishkan, the tabernacle. When it comes to the Beis Hamikdash, it changes the words over there, and over there it says, the wording is, Ki Molei Kvoid Hashem as Beis Hashem. That's in Pasuk Yud Aleph and Perek Ches of Melachim. So first it says Molei and then Kvoid Hashem. In our pasuk in Chumash it says Kvoid Hashem Molei HaMishkan. What's the difference? Why over there by our pasuk it says Kvoid Hashem Molei and over there it says Molei Kvoid Hashem? And based on the difference that we just said now, is also understood that beautiful chiluk. You could all look it up. I want to just share with you the difference so you see how the diuk in the pasuk over here by the Mishkan says Olav, and over there by the Beis Hamikdash says Molei.